Classic Restos is proudly brought to you by Shannons Insurance, Penrite Oil, Hare and Forbes Machinery House, and Pace Farm Eggs. Hello and welcome to this special episode of Classic Restos. But before we go any further, you need to see this. It's thanks to Shannons. Ask about multi-policy discounts and sign up for the Shannons Club. Call 134646 for a quote and see more at shannons.com.au. For oils, coolants, additives and technical assistance, oil right, use Penrite. And Hare and Forbes has the range. Buy online at machineryhouse.com.au. Now, this event has found a special place in my heart, and over the years, no doubt in yours as well. Welcome to the 2016 Isabella and Marcus charity event. This is the Isabella and Marcus Pediatric Brainstem Tumour Fund, putting on this nothing less than awesome classic vehicle show and shine, with proceeds to the fund. This despicable tumour occurs in the brainstem, most frequently in children between the ages of 5 and 9, and offers no prospect of long-term survival. Most children die within a year of diagnosis. The only treatment available is radiotherapy, which prolongs life by months only if the tumour is responsive. Brain tumours are now the leading cause of cancer deaths of children in Australia, and DIPG is the most dangerous and least understood. The mission: to fund Australian research into pediatric brainstem tumours with a focus on DIPG. The vision is to establish research laboratories in Australia that will seek to understand the cause and help find a cure. So it's time now to go and speak with some of these lovely people that have attended with their cars to make this day happen. First cab off the rank to this incredible event here today, we have Brian. Hello, mate.
G'day, Fletch. How are you, mate?
Good. Thank you for coming along and supporting such a fantastic fund.
It's a great event. It's hopefully the government gets behind it and gives them some money to support it.
What inspires it even further is the people that run it are just beautiful people all day long, aren't they?
Fantastic people. Very, very generous. So, great people.
Absolutely. Now, it's cars like this, of course, that make the day. Now, we've got a 1967 Mustang. Now, this used to be green, right?
That's right. It was a green with a black interior. So, yeah, we restored it probably about 4 or 5 years ago. Some blokes in Rockhampton did it, so...
It's an incredible job. To the guys at Rocky, if you're watching this episode and you know the car, well done. I mean, it could have left the factory like this. It is gorgeous.
Yeah, it's a beautiful paintwork. They've done a fantastic job on that.
Let's have a look at this pony interior. Gotta love it. Always had a bit of a soft spot for that pony interior there with the horse on the seats. I mean, yeah, it's depicting the role model of the car. Over the years, Mustang have done quite a few different style dashboards. I think the 67, it's certainly one of the most blingy type dashboards. It's almost like borderline Thunderbirding in the pencil chrome and the highlight with the shiny stuff. I think it's a very nice dash.
Yeah, it's very simple, but I think it's quite elegant too when you look at it, so I'm pretty happy with it. So.
Absolutely, and that steering wheel, which takes us through to XR XT Falcon GTs in this country as well.
Exactly, I had an XR GT and I love the steering wheel, so that's where it come from. So.
Okay, what powers it up front, Brian?
It's a 302, pretty much standard, just runs along. So.
Yeah. And that's all you need.
Yeah, a bit of a cruiser, coffee car as I call it. So.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it's not about go-go. It's about the style and class of the car, and it's the sort of car where you do speed limits all day long, and it just looks $1 million all day long as well.
Yeah, exactly. Just cruise around and enjoy it. That's what I do.
So, Brian, thanks very much for turning up with your glorious Mustang, mate. Well done.
Thanks, Fletch, and you have a good day too.
Moving through the 2016 Isabella and Marcus Foundation Fund event here, we have Robert, the father of Isabella. How are you, Robert?
I'm great, Fletch.
That's great to see you again.
It's wonderful to have you back again. This is a great event. It's our 6th year, and you've been here every year for us. So we really appreciate you coming down.
That's right. It's one that can't be missed, and it's growing every year, more and more and more. I mean, I think last year was around 500 cars or more.
We had 510 cars last year, and we've got a great day today, and we're hoping for more cars than ever.
That is wonderful. That is really, really, it's fantastic. People are so supportive of this incredible event. Now, speaking of which, can you give us an update on research and where we're looking?
Okay, I'll just start off by saying that very few people are actually aware that brain cancer in children kills more children than any other disease in Australia. And the cancer that my daughter Isabella had was a brain cancer that was located in her brainstem. It was incurable. It was incurable because we don't understand what's causing this cancer. There hasn't been enough research. Without the research, there's no treatments and the children die. So the goal of the charity has been to fund research. And we've raised enough money now that in the last 2 years we've funded 6 projects in Melbourne, and we've also provided 3 PhD scholarships to train the next generation of scientists, because the other part of the problem is there's not enough scientists on the ground doing the research, and we seek to rectify that.
Being a scientist yourself, right?
That's right, I am, yeah.
It gives you an incredible advantage, and boy, what an advantage to have in a situation and a circumstance such as this.
It does. It allows me to actually engage with the scientists. I can understand the research proposals that they're putting forward, and we can use our money as effectively as possible.
Okay, so are we moving forward? Are we seeing some light?
We are making some progress. There's some exciting developments in the field of brain cancer research in children, and our scientists are doing good work too.
Such a shame in one respect that because it happens to a small percentage that it's not actually recognised in terms of federal.
It is. We're not getting a lot of government funding. Part of the reason is that there aren't enough scientists on the ground that can apply for the research grants. So that's what we seek to rectify as well, by training new scientists and put them in a position where they can apply for these larger research grants. So that'll happen within the next 3 years, and we've had some success already with one of our researchers getting a larger government grant.
Well, if you're watching the show and you're federal, how about you listen to this guy? See what you can do. Is there a website?
There is. It's www.isabellaandmarcusfund.org.au.
Okay. Now, look, the audience of Classic Restos and you at home, everybody's fantastic with all charities, of all the car shows. Everybody's just so overwhelming. Website details on the bottom of the screen if you'd like to make a donation. Robert, again, thank you so much, mate. I'll let you get back to it. It's a big day.
Thank you, Fletch. Appreciate your support.
You're welcome.
Okay. Bye.
You are watching the amazing 2016 Isabella and Marcus charity event Show and Shine. And you're seeing it first on Classic Restos. Back with more right after this.
Every weekend around Australia, motoring enthusiasts get together to share their passion for cars and bikes. It's a passion that brings us together. All sorts of people, all sorts of cars and bikes. From the classics of today to the classics of tomorrow. At Shannons, we understand enthusiasts. So when it comes to insurance, it's got to be Shannons. Shannons, insurance for motoring enthusiasts. Call 13 46 46 for a quote.
In 1926, Australia's Penrite Oil Company was established. Almost 90 years of research, development and refining under the harsh Australian conditions has made Penrite Oil what it is today. Precision, performance, reliability and protection. Championship winning products. Trust Penrite.
If you need a new piece of equipment for your workshop, you need Hare and Forbes Machinery House. Hare and Forbes Machinery House have showrooms around Australia and New Zealand that will have you browsing for hours. See the largest range of industrial and workshop DIY tools. You will be greeted by friendly, helpful staff, and you can buy from anywhere online at machineryhouse.com.au. Hare and Forbes Machinery House. Find your closest store at machineryhouse.com.au. In the history of Classic Restos, I've done Series 1 and 2 of Classic Restos trucks. During that time, some of the salt of the earth, best people I met during that series came about. And look at this today, out of nowhere, a whole procession of big trucks to support the Isabella and Marcus Day. It goes without saying. Salt of the earth truckies, well done guys. Time for Grant now with a gorgeous rod. Hello, mate.
How are you, Fletch?
Good, mate, good. 32 Ford. What a famous year. 32s, 34s. Boy, these rods, they're really coming into their own, aren't they?
They are. There are so many being reproduced as well, which is what this one is, a reproduction. But I take it out in the rain because it's made out of fiberglass, so it won't rust.
That's a good point. Now, the colour, it absolutely screams hot rod all day long, Grant. What is it?
It's a German colour, and I can't pronounce the name of the colour. It's about
well, no wonder, because it's German, that's why.
And it's a safety colour they used on Opel cars in the 70s, in the mid-70s, and as you can see, it looks like a safety vest.
High-vis rod. It's gorgeous. It's a beautiful job. I mean, you've done a tremendous job to it. Love the interior. What's powering the 32 up front, Grant?
It's a 302 out of a ZH Fairlane. From Norm from Aussie Desert Coolers had it in his driveway, so it became my donor car for the rod. We did a bit of work at engine builder in Frankston, and so it's got a lot of nice stuff inside and pulls about 327 horsepower out of a 302.
That's awesome. Well, if it came from Norm, Norm does a good job too with his radiators, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah, it's got a Norm's radiator in the front of it. All my cars have got Norm's radiators in them.
Yeah, g'day, Norm.
G'day, Norm. How are you?
Mate, must be a ton of fun to drive as well.
It is, yeah. It's built more as a cruiser. It's got 3.5 gears in the 9-inch in the back and a C10 auto.
You're going to be the hot rod of the episode. It's absolutely beautiful. I mean, you've got to see this thing up close. I mean, just the finish on the rails. You got the side pipes, the white wall tyres just set it off. Neat little guards over the tyres. When looking back inside, the wood grain steering wheel, there's just so many little points, attention to detail that highlight this hot rod.
It was in my head for about 20 years and I was very glad to get it out, actually. I painted it all myself, built it all myself, so
isn't that
pretty
great?
proud of it.
Isn't it good to have a vision? You have a vision for a vehicle, and over all those years, in your case decades,
yes,
and now in 2016 you've got it.
Yeah, now I'm old enough to afford it and enjoy it.
And appreciate it.
Yeah, exactly right.
Well done, Grant.
Thank you very much, Fletch. It's a great pleasure to meet you too, by the way.
Thank you very much, and thanks for coming along here today, eh?
Great, thank you very much.
Hey, you want to see a brand new hay charger? Well, there's one here. We got Andrew. How you doing, buddy?
Very good, Fletch. Nice to meet you.
Well, absolutely. Likewise, and talking of a brand new car, this restoration, it's Concourse, 1971 VH Charger, an RT265 4-barrel carb. Wow, I bet it gets along all right.
Goes very well. I haven't only done about 500 miles in it so far.
Now, I like what you've done there again, the attention to detail, the wiring harness. Now, on these RT Chargers, the main loom that runs around the back of the firewall there's that orange spiral wire. You've even replicated that because they left the factory like that, as rough as that seems, but that's what they did back in the day. Now, that wire was the driving light wire, right?
Yeah, that's correct. And I think the driving lights were an aftermarket idea for the RT Charger, so that's why they were never in the loom and they were put on later.
It's funny when we look back. I mean, that would never happen today in production, but hey, back then they did that with the wiring and got away with it. The engine looks absolutely superb there in the engine bay. I mean, the colours are right. It just sits so well there. It looks fantastic.
Yeah, thank you. Again, put a lot of effort into trying to get the colours and the clips and the bolts and everything factory correct.
We look into the interior now. Wow, the high back bucket seats, the tombstone design seats there, synonymous with Chrysler, black interior, sports car all day long. You've done a sensational job.
Yes, again, a lot of effort. All the seat trims, we've tried to select all the correct type of vinyl to get the correct pattern. All the seats were refurbished, all the frames painted up, and all the covers redone, of course, and the reclining mechanisms in working condition.
Andrew, where did you find the car?
It was actually in Heidelberg. A young fellow had it back in 1994 and purchased it from him, and it sat around in my garage for a long time before I got around to doing anything with it.
Basket case, or was it okay?
Complete basket case. Hit twice hard in the front and in the back, so a lot of bodywork's gone into this.
Your build time?
About 6 years in total. It's just a matter of finding all the time, finding all the parts, slowly putting it together, and we end up with what we've got here.
Good on you, Andrew. Now, before we go any further, now you're doing a Fletch tour this year. Which one are you doing?
That's correct. The Carlisle, Chrysler's at Carlisle.
Of course, I should have known that.
Had to be, didn't it?
Well, you'll be in for a treat, mate, when you do that, so I'll be seeing you a little bit later on in the year, eh?
Absolutely looking forward to it.
That's great, Andrew. And before Andrew goes, it's nice to know he's got his car with Shannons Insurance. He uses Penrite oil. He got his tools from Hare and Forbes Machinery House, and this morning he had Pace Farm eggs for breakfast. Good on you, buddy.
Absolutely, thank you. And Shannons have actually done a great job with the insurance on this car, so I'm very impressed with their service, and again, that's worked out a treat.
They're all great companies and great people. Good on you, Andrew. Thanks,
Thank
mate.
you very much.
Classic Americana. You've got to love it. That's why you're going to love a Fletch tour.
There is nothing quite like a Fletch tour. Carlisle or Ford Nationals, GM Nationals and Chrysler Nationals await you.
Book a Fletch tour. It's amazing.
We've seen some absolutely amazing cars.
What an event.
Experience Route 66 from Chicago to Vegas or choose the Detroit tour.
I would make it a point to go to Fletch Tours and come to Detroit.
There are 5 Fletch tours. Select the one that suits you best. See fletchtours.com or contact All Things Travel, Lara.
If you need a new piece of equipment for your workshop, you need Hare and Forbes Machinery House. From a garage jack through to a lathe, Hare and Forbes has the range. And Hare and Forbes Machinery House are Australian owned, established since 1930. You will be greeted by friendly, helpful staff, and you can buy from anywhere online at machineryhouse.com.au. Hare and Forbes Machinery House. Find your closest store at machineryhouse.com.au.
Penrite, Australian made, family owned and operated. Make premium quality engine and racing oils, warranty approved coolants, automatic transmission and manual gear oils, a complete range of engine and fuel additives, heavy duty and industrial products for every application. Visit penriteoil.com for more information. Penrite, Australian made for Australian conditions since 1926.
I spend a lot of time out here. The RT Charger's the real deal. An E49. Remember A-Charger? I've always got projects on the go, so Shannon's laid-up cover helps protect my restorations. I'm Mopar through and through. It's a passion Shannon's understands. I wouldn't insure my cars and bikes with anyone else.
Shannons, insurance for motoring enthusiasts. Call 13 46 46 for a quote.
Now, this car is rare. We don't see many of these around in Australia or the United States for that matter. A 1959 Buick Electra 225. How are you, Simon?
Good, Fletch.
You must feel pretty special having this car.
Oh, well, I've gotten used to it. I've had it for quite a while.
Tell us the story on that.
Bought it probably this weekend, 43 years ago.
Where from? But back in that time, did you...
advertised it in The Age, classifieds.
Simon, you're the first person in the history of Classic Restos that I've interviewed that has had an American car for so long, or here in Australia, for 43 years. Cadillac was known for its highest fins, Buick was known for its longest fins, and the interior is just absolutely amazing as well, all original too.
Well, it's been redone, but that's how it would have looked when it was new, yeah.
Right, what powers it up front, Simon?
It's got a 401 cubic inch Wildcat engine.
What an incredible car, all these years later. 20 feet long, heaps of steel, heaps of chrome, heaps of shiny stuff. It's got so much character.
The 225 stands for how many inches long it is. That's 225 inches of character.
See, no car today comes out with its dimensions written on it, does it?
Correct.
No. Simon, thank you so much for being on today's episode, helping this show be what it is, bringing such a stunning car along. Thank you.
Thank you, Fletch.
When it comes time for a cool truck, in fact, if you look up cool truck in the dictionary, there's a picture of this bloke, 1955 Chev. How you doing, Wayne?
Good, Fletch, good.
Man, this is cool. This is like an El Camino on steroids.
Yeah, mate, it's pretty different, yeah.
Before we start talking about the front of the truck, let's start talking about the back of the truck. What's going on there? I've never seen so much style in the back of an old truck that looks like a car.
Well, it's a 55 Cameo. They made them from 1955 to 1958, and they made 5,220 of them and about 1,405 55 models.
I still can't believe they put so much nicety into a product that potentially would be trashed on a job site.
Well, it was sort of made as a boss's truck because they were $1,000 dearer. Then they were $1,300 for a standard truck, and they were $2,300 for a Cameo. So they didn't sell a lot of them.
This was the quoting vehicle.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I still reckon a few of them would have got out on the job sites. This is amazing. A beautiful, beautiful truck, this. When we look out back and we see fiberglass sides.
Yeah, fiberglass. They were made in the Corvette factory. Yeah.
See, isn't that amazing? That's interesting stuff. Can't help but notice Texas there and the rear screen in the back there. I mean, it'd be pretty safe to say this could be the only truck like this in Australia, yeah?
Yeah, well, there was a thing on Pinterest the other day about it, and it is the only one they're saying, yeah. Yeah.
What a score this is. It's beautiful all the way through to the front bar. Now this is interesting. It's that's a nudge bar being put on there from a company in Texas.
That's a dealership option, yeah. It's a smash hit, it's called, and it's Waco, Texas.
Only the Americans would put a product on the front of your car that said smash hit. Now Wayne, let's look under the hood. Now the first thing, what I thought when I saw that engine, it was a 409.
It's a 348, which is similar. I think it's the cranks mainly the difference in them. Yeah. But yeah, I decided to put that in. It sort of fits the area.
You've done some nice things around the engine too. I mean, you've made a fuel filter there. It looks tough. It's like as though it'd stop stones.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's just a thing I wanted to do to fill in a few gaps on it, and a little alternator, which you can see the engine without having the alternator stuck up in front of it, and the power steering's down underneath it.
I like that little power steering pump. How neat is that?
Yeah, well, that's sort of off an original, probably 63 Impala or something like that. But I had to make all the mounting brackets to suit the 348.
Yep. Good on you, Wayne. Thanks for showing this off and being here today. The Isabella and Marcus Day here for 2016. Record numbers. Started off 6 years ago in a panel shop with around 70 cars, and now we've got many, many hundreds of cars, and it's just getting bigger and bigger. And I think for what it stands for, that's incredible.
It is. It's a really good show. It's the first time I've ever been here, but I'll be here for the next however long they go for.
Good on you, Wayne. Thanks, buddy.
No worries. Fletch, thank you.
He's back. Now, last year, bit of a highlight to the event, we've got Nobby. Hello, Nobby. How are you, buddy?
I'm fine, thank you, Fletch.
It's great to see you again.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. I mean, last year, did a bit of a signature for you on the side of your bike. Yes. Have you had much of a response?
Yeah, I had a quite a positive response because my motorcycle was on telly. Thank you. Thanks a lot, Fletch.
Now, Nobby, you're here today supporting your motorcycle club. Tell us quickly about that.
I'm a member of Vintage Japanese Motorcycle Club. So, club actually supports the restoring and owning the old motorcycles, especially made in Japan. Then, unfortunately, this year they have interstate rally in Canberra, ACT. So, but one day it will happen in Victoria. I want to bring all of them to come here to see you, Fletch.
At the Isabella and Marcus show?
Of course, yeah, to support this Isabella and Marcus Brain Tumour Fund.
Oh, that's wonderful of you. And how many bikes could we be looking at?
Oh, hundreds, maybe 200s. So, wait and see.
We want to find out more information about your Japanese bike club. Have you got a website?
Yes, Vintage Japanese Motorcycle .org.au. Yeah.
Good to have you back, and you've also brought some bikes with you as well.
Yeah, I brought the same 404 again.
Yeah, but you've got some friends with some bikes as well.
Yeah, this time I have lots of friends to support me. I'm really, really happy, lucky person. Fletch, I have a suggestion.
Yeah.
This is the end of the day.
Yes.
I want to take you back to my place. How's that?
Back to your place?
Yes. To have a cup of tea?
Oh. Really? You want me to go back to your place?
Yes, I'm living around the corner.
Oh, okay. All right. And you insist?
Yes, of course.
So do I have to go back to your place?
You must.
Okay, well, Nobby, it's been fantastic seeing you again. We've got to go. I've got to get back to Nobby's place for a cup of tea. I thought he would have offered me maybe a Parma or a VB.
Yeah, of course. Whatever you want.
Thank you, Nobby.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Thank you, Fletch.
Okay. Well, there you go. What a massive event. And just some of the 2016 Isabella and Marcus Charity Fundraising Show and Shine. The website details are across the bottom of the screen right now if you'd be so kind to make a donation to try and find a cure to this despicable disease. The event has grown over the years to now over 500 vehicles. This TV episode is just putting a toe in the water to show you some of what is here. See if you can make it in 2017. In the meantime, no matter where you're watching Classic Restos from, until next week, please ride and drive safe. I'm Fletch, and I thank you very much for watching.
You can like and follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/Classic Restos TV and watch catch-up episodes at shannons.com.au. Classic Restos is proudly brought to you by Shannons Insurance, Penrite Oil, Hare and Forbes Machinery House, and Pace Farm Eggs.